AfterBuzzers, CBS TKO fans, Kevin Hart fans, welcome into Season 1, Episode 3, TKO. We got a special guest in studio, Episode 1 winner, Barry White Jr. Stay tuned, we're going to knock you out.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz
And we are on, and we are rolling. It's Season 1 of TKO, the newest show on CBS, hosted by Kevin Hart. I am in studio. We've got special guest Barry White Jr. in studio, joined by the lovely ladies, Linda.
Hey guys, Linda and Queen House.
McKenzie Fane.
Haley Catino.
And we are so excited that you have joined us and that we are joined by Episode 1, the debut episode, the winner, Barry White Jr. What's up, Barry?
What's going on, man? Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
We're definitely glad that you have joined us because that gives us an expert at the show to talk about everything, not just that we want to talk about, but know about you too, Barry. So thanks for joining us. We will start on the episode shortly, but overall thoughts, I mean, what do you guys?
What do you guys think? Do you guys think the players are getting worse?
Yes, absolutely. I don't know. This was so odd to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is happening? Where are the credentials? I'm confused.
Yeah.
I find it so interesting because I was like, okay, episode 1 and 2, they had like some competitors. And then, I mean, not all of the competitors, but like a few of them were like, are you even trying?
Yeah, for the most part,
Right?
it was like they didn't even look like they were trying at all. They're
At
just
all.
like, yeah.
And just a reminder for anyone that's just joining us for the first time or hasn't seen every episode, but the whole premise of TKO is it's 5 contestants an episode battling it out to win $50,000. Each episode, the first place gets that, which Barry has gotten, right?
Oh, yeah.
So
You could tell, look at that suit.
we always on this panel, we always go over each different station. Or what are they called? Zones.
Yeah,
I always
yeah.
forget that word. So can you explain the first zone to us?
Yes, the first zone.
What was it like for you?
It was actually pretty fun. I got hit a couple, so it's small balls. They get to shoot balls at you at, I forgot how many miles per hour.
60 miles.
60 miles per hour, yeah. It was fun for me because I had to go first. Like, I didn't know I was trying to be the first runner up. Like, they kind of told me right before, so it was just full adrenaline. Like, all right, block it now, let's go. So when I did get hit a couple times, like on the episode, I don't know if you saw, but as soon as I got hit and I heard the crowd go, "Oh, I'm from New York, I'm a competitor." So I'm mid-air on the thing. I looked at the crowd, no, and I flexed my muscles like, can't touch me, don't worry about it. And then I kept going. But yeah, I think it was the ball buster, but it was fun. I mean, they hurt though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, like,
Really?
are they? Is it a solid ball, like,
It's-
or what's the consistency like?
It's pretty solid. I mean, it's soft. I mean, at the end of the day, but
Yeah.
it's enough to go. It's going fast enough
Yeah,
to leave
yeah,
a sting.
yeah.
Especially if you get hit in the head.
Speaking of soft and zones, zone two is throwing giant frisbee discs, right? Now, that doesn't look soft.
No.
Not at all. It's heavy too. It's extremely heavy and thick, man. When it's coming at you, like, luckily I think I got hit a couple times, but you know, once again, I'm from New York. So, I
Barry,
shut that off. It's
the
not-
bridge.
Yes.
The bridge seems to be the biggest problem for everyone in Zone 2. What was that experience like for you?
At that point, I'm be honest, my legs are kind of shot. Like, I'm more upper body, really. So it's like when I got to the bridge, I knew immediately, and like my shoes were slipping. I'm not gonna make cross. So all I'm gonna do is, if I do fall, hang on for dear life and just pull myself up like it's a pull-up or something. So that's why I mean, most people just go for it, know when you're gonna fall, and you just hang on. Like, well, try to hang on if you can.
In tonight's episode, one person went over that zone and lost his shoe, and so then he continued on and took off his shoes and socks. Do you think that helped him?
That might have, actually. Yeah, now I think about it, I should have tried that out.
Yeah. Forget these shoes.
Right? Just throw them off. Yeah.
And zone 3, they do giant spike balls. How about that?
Zone 3 is what got
With the
me.
discs, the moving discs that you
Yeah,
jump
yeah,
onto.
yeah.
Zone 3 is spike. Yeah, that was that's what got me. I'm telling you. Luckily, I still had a lot of confidence, but that spike ball, I was not expecting it to be that heavy. Like, I thought, oh, it's soft. I'm gonna eat this.
Yeah.
As soon as I jumped on, she timed it just right.
She
got
Bam!
it. Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
George. Matter of fact, George got me, and it knocked my legs off. Like, it was nothing. And then I almost made it through the second time when I went back for like to retry it. I got to the end. I was so upset at myself. Like I was at the very end, getting up, and I thought he was out of spike balls. But
And he got you.
Oh my God.
I miscalculated. I'm like, okay, he got no more left.
Yeah.
Oh, this is mine.
Yeah.
As soon as I leaned up,
Bam.
I'm like, oh man.
Is that the worst feeling in the world? Like getting down and then you're like, I have to climb all the way back out.
See, that's what a lot of people realize. Like that is the hardest part. That takes all of your energy because it just foams, especially zone 3. Getting out that foam is like going to a trampoline park and you fall in.
Oh my God,
and you
yeah.
just gotta pull yourself. Time still going. Like I was just pulling. That's when I got up to go to zone 4, and Kevin Hart started roasting me. That's when he was like, "Yeah, Barry looks defeated." Like of course I got up because I was moving like, "Oh man, all right, come on, man." Like I was completely shot after getting out of there.
Speaking of Kevin Hart, when you're actually competing, can you hear him commentating?
So I hear a little bit of it. Like, you know, you of course you're focused, but in between the little breaks, I can hear him. But I didn't know he was roasting me like that. After I came out, I saw he started doing little step moves. Like, I was just completely shot. Like, oh man, you got me. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah.
And then zone 4, that is just impossible.
Yeah.
I don't know
That's
what the
hard.
strategy was. Like, I think in that episode, the majority of us thought, except for the last competitor, thought that, okay, if I go slow and I just tiptoe through it, I can get through.
No.
It was actually the opposite. Like,
You gotta go
had
fast.
You had to shoot through.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, okay, let me just straddle through and nah, it didn't work out.
In this episode, though, one of the contestants was able to get the 90-second bonus,
First
which is the
time.
first time we've seen
First,
right?
in
Yeah.
all of the episodes.
That's
He
good.
did get knocked out, like TKO'd in his.
Yeah.
But he got the
in
90
that
seconds.
but he got the 90
Yeah.
seconds pulled off.
Yeah, that thing seems
matters.
like impossible.
Impossible.
I don't understand how anyone could get it.
It's crazy. Now that I watch, like, when I do look at the episodes now, it's like, I could have got that. It's strategy now that you can. think
And also,
about.
it wasn't clear watching, but you can get the capsule and still fall in the water and
Yeah,
keep going.
90
So actually,
seconds,
you get the 90 seconds, take one fall, and then you get it the next
That's
time.
so true.
That's the move.
That's the
strategy.
move.
But speaking of the zones, we've talked about actually what happens when you're competing, but when you fall in, you mentioned in the third zone, it's like gym blocks. And what about the other zones? Zone 1 is kind of like a normal fall area. Zone 2 is fake bubbles, and then zone 4 is water. So what do you find was like the worst, or what were your thoughts on the different zones falling?
Well, I didn't fall in. Luckily, I didn't fall in the first 2, so I didn't experience that. But the zone 3 for me had to be the hardest because, like, at least in water, I can glide through or something. But it literally was nothing there but my arm strength, like no legs. I had literally nothing left. Like, of course, when I got wet, I already knew, like, my shoes are slippery, my pants, like I'm not got water weight on me. That was it. That's why when I got out of the zone 4, I was kind of like I was baby stepping. People might have thought I was tired. I wasn't tired. If I would have went any faster, I would have slipped back in the pool.
Oh, that's good to know.
Somebody actually slipped
Yeah.
down. In fact, the last competitor, Jessie, she slipped when she was trying to, like, oh, the clock is going, let's go. She got up fast. I'm like, yeah, go faster. She started running, bam, slipped.
Oh
I said,
my
Even in
God.
this
So slippery.
episode, Kevin said that zone 3, the foam, is actually the hardest part.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part of the zone, is actually getting out, and that's what eats up a lot of their time.
Yeah.
Did you get to see this or try it out before?
No, so really all they did was when we went up to look at the course, they were like, all right, this is the course. And everybody like, really, this is amazing. Like, yeah, it's amazing. All right, go suit up. Like, that's really so. And because we were the premiere, like, this ain't too much. Before we were the premiere, it was like all right, guinea pigs, and was like, go ahead, go get it.
Yeah.
And it was.
And
it was
you were
fun.
the first.
I was the first, and then they wasn't going to tell me. I'm thinking, like, when
Oh my
are we going to figure out this order?
But I still think that it's an advantage to go first.
now
Because-
that I look back at it,
yeah.
it was.
Why? Okay,
Yeah.
why? Because I don't.
Yeah, I don't
you
think so
okay.
either. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you go.
Yeah, only because we didn't get to try out the course, right? So in my mind, I'm like, if I go first, at least if I do make it through, they won't know how hard this is. Like, in their mind, so when I did fall in zone 3 and 4, and I got up, and the rest of them like, yeah, oh, he fell twice. I'm like, you're going to see how hard this is. This is
Yeah.
not easy. So the fact that I was able to get through that first one, your confidence is up, and then you can go through the rest. But I was looking like, oh, they're gonna have a hard time getting through this.
So you think they would get a little cocky,
They
kind
get
of?
cocky, overconfident, like, oh, because they saw me go through it.
And you're this big guy, all these muscles,
Yeah.
like,
Exactly. They're
yeah.
like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go next. I got this. I'm like, okay.
Which is what we saw.
Try to emulate.
Yeah.
Which is what we saw even in this episode. Like the two ladies, they were talking so much smack, thinking that they were going to get through,
Yeah.
and then they went after and didn't do as well.
So-
that's why my theory is.
I just feel like at the end I would see mistakes happening. So because I don't know, I don't think I would get too cocky, because even how, you know how there's so much back and forth cockiness, like there's that's so prevalent in the show. I would fall back and be like, oh, okay, let me get really far, and then I'll be cocky.
Yeah.
yeah.
So speaking of tonight's episode, though, let's introduce who was in I Got a Dad Bod episode 3. There was the 5 contestants tonight: Chad, a Little League coach; Heather, a paralegal; Jaren, an ER nurse; Boris, a fashion designer; and Pasha, a self-defense instructor.
Yeah.
So overall thoughts before they competed. Did you think you had someone was going to be the one that won? Were you happy with the results? Did it come in as expected?
I was shocked personally on who won, because he was definitely not my first choice. I thought the ER nurse, just because he was like medical and all of that, was going to do much
Really?
better than he did. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Jaren finished second.
He did, but
terrible.
he got 3 TKOs, 3 TKOs with 3+ minutes. He did get the 90 seconds, and that's why. But overall, like, he didn't do so well.
It was the closest finish of all 3 episodes so
Absolutely.
far. As
Yeah,
far
it was.
as
It was.
It was actually like you didn't know how it was, because they
couldn't go.
teased it with the 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, you know, with you, in your show with the time, so when you were knocking people off and you went, you know, another person went, what was it like waiting? And were you just like, oh my God, I really hope they don't get it? Am I any close to my time?
It was actually cool because when the next person went, I was further down. Well, I was the first one for the nurse. So, you know, I already had my eyes set like, oh, I'm all headshot. So I was like, once I got her down, I'm just watching the rest of them like, okay. And watching them fall, I'm like, okay, thank you. The only time my heart started racing is at the end with the behavior therapist, Jessie, when she went, like literally on the show, you can see that was all. I'm like, somebody knock her down. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Like, she was going through it.
You were nervous.
I was
You
nervous.
saw $50,000
I
lose
was
leaving
I'm
it.
like, it was slowly slipping away.
No, it must be
Oh,
so scary, like, thinking about the motive behind it, like money. I'd be like, oh my God, I need to win
Yes.
Exactly,
Yeah.
And especially $50,000,
I know.
like that's not chump change. So I feel
this.
like
Yeah, no.
So that's awesome. That's so crazy. So when everybody was going after you, you were nervous. Was there one person in particular that you met in the beginning that you were like, okay, you might be me?
Yeah, it actually was the behavior therapist. As
Oh,
I
it
was
was,
sizing
the beginning
everybody
too.
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, I'm looking down the line. I'm like, okay, George, you got a little weight on you. Let me see the nurse. I'm like, not at all. And then the cheerleader, I'm like, possibly the cheerleader or the behavior therapist. And the only reason why I looked at the behavior therapist because he's small, compact, and looked fit. I'm like, oh,
Okay.
she's a ninja. And like, this is absolutely.
What is your occupation? What did they?
I'm a teacher,
A teacher. What kind of teacher?
5th grade elementary teacher.
We are going to
Oh,
talk all about that
wow,
later in our
awesome.
special segment.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Yes.
All right, and we're going to get to more, Barry, and more of the special segment right after our live read, which keeps the lights on here at AfterBuzz.
Well, you know what? The truth is, most of us are brushing our teeth way wrong. Not for long enough, and we forget to change the brush at the right time. That's because most brands focus on selling flashy gimmicks rather than better brushing techniques, but not Quip. So, what makes Quip so different? Well, for starters, Quip is an electric toothbrush that's a fraction of the cost of bulkier brushes, while still brushing just the right amount of vibrations to help clean your teeth. Quip's built-in timer helps you clean for the dentist recommended 2 minutes while guiding pulses that remind you when to switch sides. Couldn't be any easier. Next, Quip subscription plans are for your health, not just for your convenience. They deliver new brush heads on a dentist recommended schedule every 3 months and just for $5, including free shipping worldwide. Quip also comes with a mount that suctions right to your mirror and unsticks to use as a cover for hygienic travel wherever you take your teeth. So finally, everyone loves Quip. They're this brand was on Oprah's O list, named one of Time's best inventions, and is the first subscription electric toothbrush accepted by the American Dental Association. Plus, they are backed with a network of over 20,000 dentists and hygienists, and hundreds of thousands of happy brushers use Quip every day. So Quip starts at just $25, and if you go to getquip.com/buzz right now, you'll get your first refill package free with a Quip electric toothbrush. That's your first refill pack free at getquip.com/buzz, spelled GETQUIP.com/buzz.
Buzz. That was a mouthful, but that was amazing. Thank you so much, McKenzie. And go get Quip, AfterBuzzers. All right, so tonight's episode, quickly, let's run through it. We
Yes.
started with Chad. He starts off, right? He TKOs everything. Is he the worst competitor ever so far on the show?
Oh my God, yeah.
Ran through everything.
Without a question.
Worst ever.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
I felt like he just stopped trying.
Yeah.
Like he's just like, I'm just gonna
But he
take the
didn't
TKO.
start trying. He just
fair.
Yeah.
That's
Perfect.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
There was no energy. He
And what
just
was-
like fell off things slowly.
And what's
I'm like-
funny is that he kept saying that he had like this great dad body, and he was like an athlete underneath
the dad
that,
bod.
right?
Yeah.
But he was not trying at all. Like at first I was like, I hope this is not gonna go completely like this.
Yeah.
And his whole time, he
The
was
whole
like that.
time.
Like he didn't care.
Low energy.
Two things I noted from Kevin Hart sum it up best. He said, did anyone explain the course to Chad?
Yes. Oh my God, it was so funny.
And it was amazing. And he also said it's going to be hard to bark any orders at your kids.
Kids, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is perfect swan song for Chad.
that's
But
funny.
even though we've all agreed that he's the worst competitor, and you can let us know in the live chat and in the comments if you guys agree, he actually didn't get last place. So he walked away with some money tonight because last
Shocking.
place
Yep.
went to Pasha.
Which was very I didn't expect it, and it was disappointing seeing her do them.
Especially for a special
Krav
like a Krav
Maga.
Maga
Yeah,
instructor.
I
And she
thought
was
she
talking
would-
a lot of trash.
Yeah, she was.
But the only reason that she came in last is because she completed that station three times.
That's right.
So they added not only the time but the TKO that she had two TKOs
Yeah, that was
in one
ridiculous.
station.
Yeah.
So we had one competitor in this episode who she forgot that she had already done
She TKO'd.
zone 3
Oh,
Yeah.
did you?
twice.
She went back.
And she went back and did
Oh,
it a
she was
third
gone.
time.
It was,
Yeah.
it was
Wow.
fantastic.
Wait, I
Zone
didn't
three,
think she
see?
forgot. I thought she was trying to prove a point that she
No.
could go back
No.
She didn't realize.
Because at the end, when Kevin was
Yeah.
like, I was trying to get your attention,
True.
you know, you went back 3 times.
And then
She's
he
like,
gave
I
up.
and.
did?
Oh.
But the best part about her entire run through the course, I think, was Heather slinging the frisbees because those were bad. Like she
Yeah.
was hitting her hard.
Yeah.
She
like,
used every frisbee.
and it was
Yes,
like
she was.
direct
Yeah.
shot.
What?
It
Every
was,
single
It
one.
was so
It
many
was
of them.
direct
Right?
I didn't even
shot.
get through all of them.
You got to see
Yeah.
this. This was like 6 straight shots. Her arm was all red. She was taking them off the head. It was like I felt bad. It was like an annihilation. She got destroyed.
Yeah.
Anyway, she finished in 13-17.
Yeah.
She finished in last. And then let's go to third place. Heather, the paralegal, who TKO'd all of them as well, finished in 9:49.
Who said this is harder than giving birth to
yeah.
4 different children?
Yeah.
And also said, I think anyone should feel okay after seeing Chad's performance.
True story.
Oh,
True
So
story.
that was good. And then in second, the ER nurse, which you had higher hopes for.
I really did.
Jaren. And Jaren finished 6 seconds behind winning.
That must be awful.
6
6
seconds.
seconds
Yeah, so-
between him and 50,000.
Yeah, it was
dollars.
6:48 versus 6:42.
Yeah.
But
That
he-
is so heartbreaking.
So where am I on that scale right now? I should be
You
in
on
second,
that
right?
You
scale.
would have won tonight. You were ahead because you were 6:31.
So Barry,
So-
you're 6:31.
You're 6. You
Okay.
didn't, but the second episode was loaded. You got
So-
a good
Yeah, I
episode.
saw that. I saw the
Loaded.
second
So
episode.
do you feel nervous? Because that
Um,
guy 3:32. I mean,
He crushed it.
Joe
You know what
crushed
though?
it.
I feel like you put me up there now. I can do the same thing.
Well, we're gonna find out in the battle royale,
We
right?
will
Later this
see.
season.
Hopefully.
And then
hopefully.
finally, our winner tonight, Boris, who
Boris!
finished
Shock.
Yeah, wait
A
until you
shock.
see Boris.
642. He wins tonight. He'll be back later in the season to compete for $100,000. Not much to say other than his fashion style was interesting.
Well, I wanted to say how he is one of the first competitors that has he completed zone 1, he completed
did.
zone 2, he completed zone 3, and he almost completed zone 4.
There's only
so,
one TKO
yeah.
for him, which is impressive
Yeah.
because most people are getting
It was
TKOs
yeah.
across the
It
board.
was still 6 minutes.
he
642.
Yeah, he's 642.
So sad.
642.
I still was higher than
You
him.
feel
there.
me?
You were higher. You
And I
got
had 2 TKOs.
Barry, you won episode 3 and 1. You won. Yeah.
You the man.
Yeah,
For right now.
That's why you're here. That's why we brought you in. That's
For
right.
right now.
That's right. All right, let's get back to asking some more questions for Barry. And I know we got some special segments coming up, right?
Yeah, so why don't we do this? Why don't we pull up Barry's special viral handshake? And for people that haven't seen it, let's take a look.
Oh my God, this is you? I've seen this.
Wait, this is your class?
I've literally seen this so many times.
Really?
Yes. On like Facebook.
Barry, it doesn't have like almost 13 million views.
That's amazing.
Wait,
my
I'm
God.
pretty sure I shared this like so long ago. Oh my God.
This is amazing.
Oh my
My
God.
babies.
Oh my God.
Oh, he got her.
Awesome. Oh, I love that.
Everybody is different. This is so cool.
How do you remember?
My
Damn.
Oh my God.
He gotta be cool. He's the me of the class. That's what it is.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That was the best
So
one.
that's very, so between that and being kind of like a superstar now because you won the first episode of a new show, you're getting a lot of attention. So I wanted to maybe talk a little bit about who you are and your foundation and what inspired you to just do all these amazing things with these kids.
Yeah, so I'm a 5th grade elementary school teacher. I teach reading at Ashley Park Elementary in Charlotte, North Carolina. And where that the handshakes came from was really just it was a student that was in 4th grade like 2 years ago, and she would come wait at my door, and she would just wait every single morning just to, talk to me, speak to me. She was one of our heavy hitters, which means outside of being nice and cool to me, she's probably outside the classroom getting reprimanded a little bit.
Yeah.
So yes, I just saw how every morning it just started her day off right. Like that was like a cup of coffee, like coming to see me. It's like, hey, let's do a little handshake. It was not like a little fist bump, something. So I'm thinking nothing of it. It's like, all right, sure, cool. Like, and she would wait there. I'm trying to set my classroom. Like, Mr. White, I'm not going nowhere. You just come on. So I would go do that with her, and that kind of set her day off right. So when she was coming to me next year, my mindset was, okay, I need to keep this going because I don't want to have these problems that they have this year.
Right.
So over the summer, I just thought about that, like how I did what I did for her, and I said I wanted to do that for my entire class, my whole 5th grade, trying to make us, really take that team concept into something deeper and really build those relationships with each and every last one of them. And so at the beginning of the year, I just had 1 or 2 handshakes with a couple students, and you know how that works at recess. Hey, anybody want a handshake? Like, you want to do a handshake with me? Yeah, sure. And then once 1 happened, 2 got to happen, now 3, now 4. Now, Mr. White, I need mine. Like, Mr. White, have mine in the morning. It was like a part-time job after that year, so it was pretty cool.
So how many handshakes do you think you know now?
Now, current day, I've had two different 5th grade rosters. So now, that'd be about 120, 125 possibly.
And how do you
my
remember
God.
them all?
It's muscle memory. It's based off their personalities. Like in that video, you saw like some of my students are steppers. I have a step team at the school, so so they have some moves of stepping, or they just really cool. Like my boy Dexter at the end, so I know
That was
his
the
swag.
best, yeah.
I know how to handle them. So it's just based on their personalities, man. Muscle memory.
And then your foundation, tell us a little bit about
Yeah, so
that.
that's actually in the process of getting started and all that. And what I hope to accomplish with that is be a liaison for the educators and be able to provide resources and things that really will take a lot of stress off us. 'Cause as being an active educator now, worked in a Title I school, I know the feeling of not having enough resources and worrying about so many different things that are outside of actually building a relationship with your actual student, your scholar. Worrying about test scores and you're not having erasers or markers, things like that. Then you forget that. Or another big piece is actually developing that one-on-one relationship with your student, building in character, not just the academics. So if I can do that, I can serve as be the person who lessens the burdens for them and just allows them to get back to the basics, which is just being, actually looking at the human being and developing people as humans, in a genuine way, then I'll love to do that.
Wow,
That's
that's
amazing.
so
Awesome.
inspirational. I
Yeah.
love it. That's awesome.
We have another video that I wanted to show. If we can pull up his visit to the OMC students. Yeah, that one. So you've kind of taken this on the road, this whole handshake and inspiring children. right?
Yes.
Okay, so if we can talk a little bit about this video as well.
Yes, so the Victoria Montclair School District superintendent, they were so kind just to reach out to me and asked me to come down, visit some of their classrooms and talk to their leaders. So, so of course, I accepted. I love to go visit other educators anywhere and just be able to, provide that type of insight on how important relationships are. So actually, I went and surprised this class. They didn't know I was coming. And what the teacher did was she played a couple clips and I was like, oh yeah, we seen that before, So then I walked in afterwards and like, oh, Mr. White, and then and they were just, that was an amazing group of students. Their energy level was so high, they really led that whole session. All I did was show up and give them a little words of encouragement, but they were so amped. And then the leaders, man, they was real intuitive and it's receptive of everything I was saying, and you can tell like they were passionate about their district just as much as I'm passionate about my students in my classroom. Yeah, so I love them to go around and travel and speak to different leaders and educators, man. Let's get that message out there.
Very
awesome.
cool.
That's awesome.
Let me throw one thing in. I think people can probably see if they're watching. So you got this lovely suit on, dressed really nicely. What's the pin you got going on?
Yeah, so this lapel is actually made by Dapper Black Box. It's a company, a clothing company. They make great designs. Actually, this tie as well.
Oh, I
These
love
socks, can't really see socks, but like the pocket square, all made by Dapper Black Box, and they some friends of mine, and
cool.
I really like their style. So
How can someone purchase some items?
yeah, so you can actually go on Instagram, Dapper Black Box, and they have their whole shop set up. You just click on their link and purchase any lapels or ties. They have socks.
That's cool. Looks good.
So I have a question for you, and it might hurt you a little bit, so brace
boy.
yourself. So I read somewhere that you kind of got inspired with the handshakes through LeBron, and Cleveland's your team, right?
LeBron's my team.
Okay,
I was gonna say Cleveland was your team.
So now LeBron is here in LA.
I am a Laker.
Oh, you're a Laker fan?
Where LeBron goes, I go.
Wow.
So the funny thing about that, this clothing company, Stance, they had sent me some Cleveland Cavaliers socks this past year, so I'm sporting it, during the finals and the playoffs, show myself, I'm wearing it to the gym. I got the whole, the briefs, everything. I got the whole setup. As soon as he switched up, hey guys, we gotta make a change here. This past Monday, they got me out the Laker gear, the purple and gold. Hey, it happens, It
does happen.
It's kind of nice. You get to switch up the colors for a little while, a little change pace.
Yeah, these 4 years.
Oh my God.
Do you guys have any more thoughts on tonight's episode? Any more questions for Barry?
I wanted to show one more video,
Let's
if you
do
don't
it.
mind.
Of course.
So I pulled this from Men's Health, the video that we just had up. We just had it queued up. So this guy, he is a fitness instructor. He works for Men's Health, and he did this course, and he couldn't get through any of the zones.
What?
And it was Kevin Hart who was actually doing all the zone stations for him. So I thought it was interesting because this guy, this is his life. That's what he does. He teaches fitness. He works for Men's Health, and he could not get through the course at all. And do we have a little bit, audio for him? Perfect.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Real. See, he's tall, but like the rest of on my episode, my contestants, when they fell in that little bubble pool, they sunk to the bottom. You did not see it. Like you might not saw it with
you're
the
right.
good edits, but all of us stopped for a little while
To
and just
see.
wonder is somebody gonna help them? Like
my
are they dead? Like what's going on? Like because you did not see them until
Yeah.
they came out. So
I do have a question. What was the hardest zone to shoot things
shoot?
at people?
Let me see. I think it would have to be the last zone, just because if you make a mistake and miss, you don't get a second. It's it. Like they
Okay.
just got it.
The hammers.
The hammer, yeah. So like I know the last contestant on my episode, like I had her at first. She tried to tip me a little bit. Of course, I was talking to somebody like it's not gonna happen. Come on, like you got me. And then she went through so fast though. I was trying to hit him so fast. I spent my whole load. So when she went back the second time, they're like, get it, bro, hit it. I'm like, I can't do nothing.
Yeah.
I can't do nothing with it.
I recall that. I do recall that. Do we have predictions coming up? What do you think? I have one question actually before we get Do we think a female is gonna win
Yes.
Ever?
Hell yeah.
on one of the
We
episodes?
have to get
I'm-
somebody
I mean,
on there. I can do it.
So far, it's three
Oh,
three
really?
episodes,
Yeah, hell
3
yeah.
men.
I think so for sure. I think it's
All right.
strategy.
I
I
think
think it's
so,
strategy.
too.
And
I
the
think
more-
it's also like willpower and
Yeah.
like you know what I mean.
100%, Yeah.
Yeah.
Willpower, I definitely would say that.
Yeah.
And I'm super competitive. Like we need somebody that you're probably super competitive. Like for me, it's like, well, yeah, you said that in the beginning. It's like that. There's no way I'm falling. Whether I have to grow wings out of the back of my back to do it, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we need somebody that has that willpower.
Yeah.
Well, I thought tonight, like that how do you
Pasha.
Pasha, yeah, she seemed like she like had it.
She talked a big game.
Yeah.
She walked a small.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna say you can talk the talk all you want,
Walk
but
the walk. Yeah.
So, Barry, how are you training for the battle royale?
yes.
How do you
So-
train for it? Yeah.
Well, originally I trained by going on the monkey bars at my playground in my school, and I'm just going through the course with my students cheering me on like that did something.
Oh,
it
that's
didn't help at all. Like it doesn't make that known. But I mean, it's working on a lower body because at the end of the day, what kind of cut me short was my legs. Like
Yeah.
I had nothing left on that last zone. Like my
yeah.
legs just spent my will was there. The legs said no, so it just completely shut on me.
So, I know that you said that you haven't seen the second and third episodes
I
yet.
saw the second one,
Okay.
not the third. Yeah.
And then, so you don't feel threatened at all by Joe's 3.32?
Nah, Joe small. He look like he's short. I told you, the small people, not letting get small.
Watch out,
Athletic
watch out.
small people.
Watch out,
you
Barry.
say.
Whatsoever,
How
I know.
tall are you, Barry?
I know. I'm 6 feet, but the point, and I got some weight on me though. So
Yeah.
So, is
He's-
that an advantage on this course? Because I would think that
I
being
don't know,
shorter
yeah.
would be
I don't-
easier because you're
I
like.
mean, Joe's time of 3:32. That's
Yeah,
a
but
good
no,
time.
that's actually he cool, man. I speak to Joe. Joe,
But he has-
like shout out to Joe. I'm not gonna lie. People was calling. I went to work. First of all, I didn't even watch it because I had stuff to do. People were running down the hill. I'm at recess with the kids. Man, did you watch the episode last night? This guy, he smoked through. How's that helping me? Like,
Yeah.
you're my colleague. Like, how's that helping me? No, but shout out to Joe, man. That was amazing. When I did get the chance to watch it over, he completely went through that, man. You know,
He
he's
was
a big
beast.
Eagles
Yeah.
fan. That's
Yeah.
my guy. That's my guy. He did great. That's a great job.
But I do think the height is definitely an advantage because you have the long
Yeah,
legs to
you can
reach
go
in the first.
faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, you just a couple.
Because you can
leaps.
cover more, right?
You can cover more, but I also think like
You're a bigger target too.
Yeah.
I'm a bigger target too.
That's
and
true.
like they're faster. Like I think Joe's a fitness instructor, I believe. Yeah, like they're faster, a whole lot faster.
Yeah.
I guess
I would
we'll
be.
learn more as the season goes along, which means everyone has to stick around for the future episodes,
Yep.
and because they want to see more Barry White Jr. right in the battle
Oh,
royale.
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Let's go.
100,000.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
That's right. Do we have any predictions, or we just predict that everyone should be back here next week to watch another episode of
Yeah.
TKO with us?
I
think so.
hope I predict that there's going to be better
Contestants.
contestants next
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah, and fun facts, Kevin was talking about perhaps having a celebrity TKO edition.
And I think they should have an AfterBuzz edition. Just saying, if you're listening, CBS,
That
we're
would be so
here.
cool.
I want
Yeah.
to do the course. It'll help
Us
us.
right here.
Yeah.
That's
We'd
right.
kill it.
Let's
We'd
do
love
it.
to.
We
Um,
would.
Anything else you want to plug, Barry? Where can we find you on social media? Tell
On
everybody.
Instagram is that's B White THTSB White. Facebook is Barry White Jr. You know, look up my YouTube, same thing, Barry White Jr. and check me out.
Ladies?
Go for it.
I'm Haley Catino, and you can find me on Instagram at Haley Catino.
And I'm McKenzie Fain. You can find me on Instagram at McKenzie Fain.
And guys, I'm Linda Entry, all across social media. Linda is so girly. Hit me up. I love hearing from you guys, and I will respond.
And I'm Michael Rippey, and you can find me on social media at Mike Rips, MikeRips. And you will see Barry in the Battle Royale, not just in this episode.
One more thing too. My sisters are short. I love everybody under 5 feet. Trust me.
He saved himself.
PC baby.
He
PC.
had to say that.
PC. I was-
Barry's backtracking on the shorty.
Listen.
Oh
We'll see you
my
next
I'm a
week,
big fan.
everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.